guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for Dragon Ball Super episode 114. And right off the bat, before I get into the good stuff of this episode, I really want to say that beginning. Oh boy, I got a bone to pick with the way that the episode began. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I really like in terms of how Kale managed to gain control of Berserker form. I really got annoyed by that because that was on some fairy tale level BS, and this isn't fairy tale. This is fucking Dragon Ball. This is the fucking Dragon Ball universe, and like, it's just the way it was handled. It was Caulifla basically holding onto Kale's hand, and saying how strong Kale is, and how much she believes in. And how much she believes in Kale as her student and whatnot, and I'm like, really, really, you're pulling this, you're pulling a fairy tale BS style power up on us with a fairy tale style thing of Kale controlling her power, of controlling her berserker form with a fairy tale style. You're kidding me? Like, yeah, that whole beginning with as far as Kale learning to control her power, it really annoyed the fuck out of me. Like, honestly, personally, if I would have, I mean, I guess it was just I guess they did it just to kind of get to the. I guess it was just to get to the meat and potatoes of the fusion part of the episode. I don't know, but it was like, yeah, like, I really think that whole part of Kale controlling her berserker form, it really could have been handled 100 times better than it actually was. But yeah, I've gone on a bit of a rant about that, so I won't go on it anymore. And let's talk about the rest of this episode, because luckily, aside from that little issue and some minor problems with the art and animation, that was really the only major blemish in this episode. Because from there, it was pretty awesome. And we may as well talk about the fusion. And honestly, that flashback was all I needed to say. Yeah, I can definitely buy how they fused using the earrings, or how they got a hold of the earrings to begin with. Because, I mean, it's fucking Champa, and you kind of expect him to pull some sneaky shit like this. So, like, it's one of those things where, yeah, you really kind of expect it, because it is Champa, and he is definitely, at the core of it, he is definitely, as dumb and goofy as he is, he is still very much a sleazeball, and Champa is known to pull dirty shit like this. So yeah. Now for me though, that does beg the question this whole fusion in itself, though, that does beg the question for me, though, is this going to be a permanent fusion or temporary? Because I've been hearing some things in the leaked spoilers about how this will be a permanent fusion, and honestly, I hope that isn't the case for two specific reasons. First is that this would mean Super is rewriting the rules again, and I know they've already done that plenty of times already, but in this case, it would be one of those. It'd be one of the ultimate inconsistencies of the show, actually, because we've already seen Vegito fusion. We've already seen Vegeta and Split from their fusion 2 times already. So whatever reason is given, they'd just be backtracking now. Like, there wouldn't be any purpose. Like, they would, like, if Super kept Kale and Caulifla fused, it would just be backtracking everything that they've backtracking on everything that they've already told us in Super. And Super is for as much as people may hate this fact, Super is still technically canon to the story of Dragon Ball. It is still canon to the story of Dragon Ball. So in that sense, it's like, yeah, it's really. Yeah, it's one of those things where I really hope, just for the sake of the continuity, I guess it's one of those things where I'm saying that just for the sake of the continuity that Super has created, I'm hoping that Kale and Caulifla's fusion isn't permanent. That's basically what I'm saying right now, I guess. I know it's a very weak reason, but yeah. Also, the second reason is pretty simple, honestly. As badass as Kefla was in the brief little scuffle we definitely saw of her with Goku, I still like them as individual characters, and honestly, like, the one thing this episode did amazing at was showcasing their chemistry together when fighting as a team. So I want to see more of that of Kale and Caulifla fighting, of course, as separate beings and together as a team. Like I really want to see more of that shit. So yeah, and one thing I really one thing I really like in this episode was the fighting, and yeah, I know it's Dragon Ball, of course, you're gonna enjoy the fighting, but for me, compared to other episodes, I felt there was this very creative energy to the fighting in this episode that have to do with the fact that both I think the main reason I like the fighting in this episode compared to others is that, like I said, there's like I know it's Dragon Ball, of course, you're going to enjoy the fighting, but for me, compared to other episodes, I felt there was this very creative energy to the fighting in this episode that, aside from the Goku versus Jiren fight, other episodes almost lacked a bit of creativity, a bit of the creativity that this episode had. And maybe that did have to do with the fact that it was both Kale and Caulifla fighting Goku together, even before they fused, but yeah, there's just something about this fight in this episode that I really got into in this episode. Also, Frieza, you dirty motherfucker. Like honestly, just from seeing him just up on his perch just up on his perch and viewing the fight, you can tell Frieza is fucking planning something. Like it's crazy. You know that probably like the moment like I've also heard some things where apparently Goku's gonna lose this fight. So if I had to guess, I'd say what's going to happen is the moment Goku loses the fight, Frieza's probably going to step in. He's going to fucking... If Goku does lose this fight, Frieza's probably going to step in, eliminate them both, and that's the end of the Saiyans of Universe 6. Like, yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking of right now, and like the problem with like and Beerus, okay, I just want to address you, Beerus. He was saying in this episode that he should have teamed with Frieza. No, wrong. No, free. Remember what Frieza? Okay, I get this is a tournament of power. I get this is a tournament, but he brutalized Kaba, Beerus. Okay, he brutalized Kaba. He would have done. He would have done, and he probably could still do the exact same thing to Caulifla and Kale. So, yeah, it's or Kefla or whatever they end up being in the end. But yeah, it's like you cannot fucking trust Frieza. Don't fucking trust Frieza at all. Like yeah, he wants to put all of you in chains and have you as his little goddamn puppets. Understand that? Like, cease. Yeah, but yeah, it's like yeah, but I will admit his little encounter with that I guess like Power Ranger wannabe or whatnot in this episode, that shit was funny. I'm not gonna like just seeing Frieza kind of have seeing Frieza kind of just standing there crossing his arms and this Power Ranger motherfucker going wanting to fight him or I think it was like Kamen Rider or Power Ranger motherfucker wanting to fight him. It's like yeah, bro, you do not want to fight Frieza at all. Like you will die if you someone like you will die fighting Frieza. So yeah, I will admit, as limey as Frieza was in this episode, he did have that one funny moment. I will say that much. That Frieza did have that one very, very extremely funny moment in this episode. Yeah. And one final thing I want to talk about actually is, believe it or not, is the preview. Actually, believe it or not, because there was a lot of interesting little tidbits in that preview that I really want to talk about. The first being that apparently we are actually going to get a little more we're going to get a little apparently Android 1718 into fighting that exact same Power Ranger motherfucker I just mentioned, which shouldn't be too tough of a fight, I don't think. Hopefully not, because if they lost to that guy, I'd be just embarrassed for them. And two is that apparently we are going to get more on the Gohan and Gohan and Piccolo fight. Gohan and Piccolo are going to be fighting the Namekians from Universe 6, I believe who they are. And like I know we keep getting little teaser tidbits of that fight, but honestly, like I I really want any more of that fight I don't really want any more of that fight until pretty much until we manage to get a full blown episode of it. Because here's the thing, with the I'm kind of worried of that fight. That of course it's gonna be one of I'm worried about the Gohan and Piccolo fight, because I really don't want Piccolo to get. I really with the way with pretty much the I don't want Piccolo to get eliminated in the same way that it was in the same way that Tien was eliminated. Like, I don't want Piccolo's eliminated. If Piccolo is to get eliminated, I don't want him eliminated in a very in a very pussy ass way that is, where he doesn't even get his proper time to shine, or it's kind of just brushed off, or it's one of those eliminations that's kind of brushed off like Tien's was. Like, yeah, I'm really worried that it's going to be one of those cases, but I'm really praying to God it's not. Like, hopefully we can pray, and hopefully we will in fact get one of those. We will still get a full blown episode dedicated to Gohan and Piccolo, and between Gohan, Piccolo, and those Universe 6 Namekians, because that is a fight I genuinely want now. Because yeah, but yeah, I've done enough and spilled my guts on it. But go ahead and write down in the comments below what you guys thought of this episode, because it was pretty damn good. There are still a few things I guess I'm a little iffy about as to whether or not it will that they will actually happen or whatnot. But other than that, the episode was pretty damn entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. But that's all I have for this one, guys. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, or follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.